Do you feel a sense of neglect or loneliness that has lingered into adulthood? Do you even have feelings of anger or betrayal towards your parents? If you grew up with emotionally immature parents, you may be experiencing these emotions. Emotional immaturity is a phenomenon that is rarely talked about but very common. This video will outline the problems faced by adult children of emotionally immature parents and how to see and help other people who are experiencing these problems. When emotionally immature parents lack the necessary skills to meet their children's needs, it can result in a profound sense of neglect and loneliness that continues into adulthood. The good news is that these deep emotional wounds can be healed. The first step towards healing is identifying the root cause of your emotional loneliness. True emotional intimacy makes us feel seen for who we truly are, but a lack of emotional intimacy results in a profound loneliness for both children and adults. Emotional loneliness can be isolating, especially when it stems from childhood neglect. It is important to understand that these feelings of pain and loneliness are our body's way of sending us the message that we desire an emotional connection. Once you begin listening to your emotions instead of pushing them away, you'll be able to form more genuine, authentic connections. To recognize the signs of emotional immaturity, it is essential to understand that most emotionally immature behaviors are unconscious, and the parent often has no awareness of how their actions have affected their children. Emotionally immature parents tend to share a similar personality profile, which is centered around narcissism, insensitivity, and a limited tolerance for genuine emotional intimacy. Communication can be very difficult with such parents, and interactions might leave you feeling completely shut down and invalidated. One common sign of a person who has immature parents is a lack of emotional regulation. They may struggle to express their feelings in a healthy way, or have a tendency to overreact. They may also have a hard time handling conflict and may resort to avoidance or aggression. The two extremes of poor emotional regulation can be defined as internalizers and externalizers. Externalizers tend to be highly reactive and take action before they really have a chance to think. They outwardly display their depression, anxiety, or pain, and often act impulsively to distract themselves from their own issues. Not willing to be self-reflective, externalizers usually seek support from others and also blame them for their problems. On the other hand, internalizers look for solutions within themselves. Since they depend on their own inner resources, internalizers may seem to need less attention, although in reality it's the opposite. As they are highly sensitive and naturally perceptive, this personality type can't help but notice when they don't have a genuine emotional connection with their parents or with others. As with most things in life, finding a balance is key. Externalizers can benefit from learning to find a sense of control within themselves. Internalizers need to learn how to be more comfortable seeking help from others. Another sign is difficulty with boundaries. Children of immature parents may have been raised in an environment where boundaries were not respected, leading them to struggle with setting and maintaining boundaries in their adult relationships. If you are in a relationship with someone who exhibits these signs, it's important to approach the situation with empathy and understanding, try to listen actively to their concerns, and validate their feelings. It's also important to communicate your own boundaries clearly and respectfully, and be willing to compromise when necessary. Encourage your partner to seek therapy or other professional support if they are struggling with the lasting effects of their upbringing. Remember that healing from childhood trauma is a process, and it may take time and effort to work through. Be patient, compassionate, and willing to support your partner on their journey towards healing and growth. 4 different styles of emotionally immature parenting have been identified, which include emotional parents, driven parents, passive parents, and rejecting parents. Children of emotional parents may struggle with anxiety or feel as though they are walking on eggshells around others. Driven parents, on the other hand, are often highly focused on achievement and success. While it's important to set goals and strive for excellence, driven parents may take it to an extreme, putting pressure on their children to perform at an unrealistic level. As a result, children of driven parents may struggle with feelings of inadequacy and fear of failure. Passive parents, by contrast, may be characterized by a lack of engagement with their children. They may not set boundaries or enforce rules, leaving their children feeling adrift and unsupported. Children of passive parents may struggle with developing a sense of self or feel as though they lack direction in life. Finally, rejecting parents may be dismissive or critical of their children. They may not provide emotional support or encouragement, and they may even actively undermine their children's self-esteem. As a result, children of rejecting parents may struggle with feelings of worthlessness or a sense that they are not lovable. It's important to note that these types are not mutually exclusive, and a parent may exhibit traits of more than one type. However, understanding these broad categories can be helpful in identifying problematic patterns in family relationships and taking steps to address them. Healing from childhood trauma caused by emotionally immature parents requires the willingness to recognize these patterns of behavior, understanding our own emotions, and communicating effectively. Breaking free from negative thought patterns is also crucial, as it is recognizing emotional maturity. With time, patience, and the right tools, you can take a step closer towards a more positive life.
MA